Now, hear the silence of annihilation.
Aatrox, the Darkin blade. In the ancient epics, eons before the encroaching desert sands swallowed the grandeur of Shurima, a formidable champion stood before the illustrious sun disk. Anointed as the embodiment of a forgotten celestial ideal, this warrior, reborn as Aatrox among the Ascended, bore wings aglow with the golden light of dawn and armor that gleamed like a constellation of hope. Aatrox, a paragon of nobility, led Shurima's armies with unwavering honor. His conduct was so just that other god warriors rallied at his side, and legions of 10,000 mortals from Shurima marched in his wake. When Sataka, the Ascended Warrior Queen, beseeched his aid against the rebellion in Icathia, Aatrox answered the call without hesitation. Yet, the rebellion unleashed horrors beyond imagination. The Void's relentless onslaught overwhelmed its Icathian masters, instigating the grinding annihilation of all life. After years of desperate conflict, Aatrox and his brethren managed to halt the Void's advance, sealing the largest rifts. However, the surviving Ascended, now known as the Sunborn, were forever altered by the encounter. Despite Shurima's triumph, they all bore the scars of their victory, and even noble Aatrox was not exempt. With the inevitable fall of Shurima, Aatrox and the Sunborn found themselves without a monarch to defend or the existential threat of the Void. The once unified Ascended turned on each other, and a war for the ruins of their world ensued. Mortals, fleeing the conflict, labeled them with a new and scornful name, the Darkin. Recognizing the Darkin as a threat to Runeterra's survival, the Targonians intervened. Legend has it that the aspect of Twilight bestowed knowledge upon mortals to trap the Darkin, and the reborn aspect of war united many against them. Aatrox, ever fearless, led his armies against the perceived threat, only realizing too late that they had been deceived. A force greater than 1,000 dead suns pulled him into the very sword he had wielded countless times, binding his immortal essence to its eternal darkness. The weapon became his prison, suffocating his consciousness and robbing him of the release of death. For centuries, Aatrox strained against this hellish confinement until a nameless mortal, in a foolhardy attempt, tried to wield the blade once more. Aatrox seized the opportunity, imposing his will and an imitation of his original form onto the bearer, albeit at the cost of draining their life. In the ensuing years, Aatrox sought hosts of exceptional vitality or fortitude, learning to take control of a mortal in a single breath. In battle, he discovered that feasting on his victims made him larger and stronger. Aatrox traversed the land in an endless, desperate search for a way to return to his previous Ascended form. However, the riddle of the blade proved insurmountable, and he realized that freedom was forever out of reach. The flesh he stole and crudely shaped began to feel like a mockery of his former glory, a cage slightly larger than the sword. Despair and loathing festered in his heart as the heavenly powers he once embodied faded from the world, lost to all memory. Raging against this injustice, Aatrox arrived at a solution born of a prisoner's desperation. Unable to destroy the blade or free himself, he embraced oblivion instead. Now, Aatrox marches relentlessly toward this merciless goal, leaving war and death in his wake. He clings to a blind hope. If he can plunge all of creation into a final, apocalyptic battle where everything, absolutely everything else is destroyed, then perhaps he and the accursed blade will cease to exist.
Let me end this.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our daily uploads. See you again soon.